We are here with Nikki Glazer, host of the Golden Globes. Nikki, so are you studying Jo Koy's monologue from last year to know what to avoid?
I think that his was a different circumstance where he found out about it way later than I did, had way less time to do it. But like in a way, yes. You can learn things from, I learned that. So he didn't really establish who he was to the crowd who might not know. He's used to performing for like sold out arenas, so why he assumed everyone would know, but he doesn't know that a lot of Hollywood elites, or maybe he didn't think about the fact that Hollywood elites aren't like going to see comedy shows. And so I definitely approached this like, okay, I got to tell them who I am right out of the gate so that they kind of like are like know the context of why I'm here. So that in that way, yes.
How does your prep differ for this than say for a roast?
It doesn't actually. It's like this almost the same exact prep. I maybe more hands on deck in terms of producers and just me asking my friends for help. But I hired the same writers, the same kind of core team to go out and running around every night doing the set 4 or 5 times a night. I've run it 93 times. I will have run it 93 times by the time I step on stage for the 94th showing of this monologue. It's been through many versions, but that's what I've always done for roast is just run it to death, test the jokes out, make sure they work, and just hope that they work in this crowd, the people that you're actually writing the jokes about.
Is there any fear of being over-prepared?
There's a fear sometimes of a joke. I'm getting tired of a joke because I've just said it so many times, but that all goes away when I say it for the first time in where it's supposed to be said. I was just saying, like, it's a lot of these jokes are based on the movies and the actors, and a lot of the crowds that I'm performing for haven't seen The Brutalist, don't even know what it is. We're living in a culture that media is so dispersed over so many different kind of platforms that people sometimes aren't seeing movies anymore, even though they're up for Best Picture. So I have to kind of explain what Amelia Perez is, and I feel like in this room I won't have to do that. So very, very different.
I overheard you saying also that none of this really matters. That's why you're not afraid. That your people are still going to love you. Everyone's still going to accept you. You're still going to be cool.
I think, my family.
No matter what happens.
Well, no matter what happens, it will be forgotten. I went back and reviewed pretty much every comedy monologue from the Oscars to the Emmys to the Golden Globes from the past 15 years, and I have forgotten about all of these people hosting, even though at the time I loved it and celebrated it. But no matter how big they were, I was like, I didn't even remember Steve Martin hosted in 2003 and 2000. And it's like, if I'm someone who's media savvy and I've forgotten that, and he's Steve Martin, people are going to forget Nikki Glazer hosted, whether I kill it or not, because he killed it. And it's like, the industry, we move on so fast. So good or bad, people will move on from it, and nothing really matters in the end.
One joke from your monologue to spoil from everyone.
I would never, ever give you that.
Good.
I can't.
And we are here with Glenn Weiss and Ricky Kirshner, left to right, executive producers and showrunners of the Golden Globes. Gentlemen, so a question you've already answered 20 times today, or 30. Talk about the decision to hire Nikki Glazer as host. And it sounds like it was a no-brainer.
Well, it kind of is a no-brainer. I mean, you have the person that was New York Times just named Comedy Person of the Year. She had a huge special this year, which is Golden Globe nominated. She obviously killed at the Tom Brady roast, which kind of zoomed her notoriety, but she's been funny for many, many, many years. And it's just she's more in the zeitgeist now. But it kind of is a no-brainer when you put all that together.
A lot of pressure on her just after what happened last year, with Jo, and I think Jo Koy got a little bit of a bad rep. Again, he only had I know he only had like 10 days to prepare, and it was a lot of last minute stuff. A little bit of a no-win situation for him. What do you think happened? And it seemed like he lost the room pretty early in the night last year.
Honestly, without looking backwards, I'll say this, that, it wasn't the greatest night for him or us, but that said, going forward, Nikki understands the dynamic and, more importantly, has been with us for 4 months now, so we've been able to really do a lot of work with her, and she's great. She's doing her homework, she's well prepared, and I just think, from the top of the show, the monologue, this is going to be a show that's going to be well received at home.
And you were also determined to give her a lot more time this year and a lot more rope, it seemed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's not just about the time, but like literally, we're going to hit it quick. We're not going to waste a lot of time on an opening titles, whatever. We want to get into the room and at the top of the show, get the best of Nikki. So it's going to hit really early, and it's going to hit really well.
So this is going to be kind of the Nikki Glazer show from top to bottom.
Well, we have some great presenters on top of Nikki Glazer.
Right.
I mean, we announced
Understood.
40 presenters this morning, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good list. So, yeah, Nikki will be out a lot. And she is the host, so obviously she gets her moment. But we're celebrating the films and the TV shows and a bunch of other presenters.
Any special surprises in store? Obviously, you can't necessarily say, but there will be would there be surprises?
Half of the surprises on award shows actually come from acceptance speeches, and that is not necessarily things that we plan for. It's things that we plan to cover and be an enhancement to the show. I will say this, that like literally when the nominees when the winners are walking to the stage or when presenters come out, you're going to learn a little bit more about them, and we're gonna put some what we call factoids, but lower thirds with things about the person that you can. And Gold Derby has helped us compile some of those statistics and that information. So it's an effort to have people watch somebody walk out, and while that time happens, learn a little bit more about them as they're walking. Again, not taken away from showtime, but just being additive to the time that we have.
Has Nikki run her latest version of the monologue by you guys?
Many times,
She's run it by
actually.
a lot of guys. She's doing it at comedy clubs all over LA. If you want to see parts.
Oh,
of
really?
it.
She's testing stuff out.
Has been doing 4 to 5 shows a day for like the last 2 weeks.
It must just make you feel so great to know that you hired somebody that's taking this so seriously.
It's amazing. I mean, we've done a lot of award shows and worked with some amazing hosts over the years, but I've never seen anything like this, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's smart of her. I mean, this is a big moment. And this
Exactly
is
right.
not make or break. She certainly isn't taking it as make or break because she's already been made. And even if she's soars, it's not like she's an overnight sensation, but it obviously makes a big difference in one's career to do well here.
Absolutely. And she knows it.
She knows.
Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you. We appreciate it.